Hey guys, I got a new webcam. What I'm thinking about with this new thing is I'm trying to figure out how can I use this to glorify God with. My whole idea was about it is what I'm going to start doing for you is making some video devotions. Simply what I'm going to do is share with you all the things I feel like God's been working on me with in my life and share it with you. Hopefully it's going to help, and hopefully maybe this, when you watch it, it'll be exactly what you needed to hear at this time. For the first time though, for the first video that I want to do is the best thing I could think of to talk about is simply what we talked about in our youth department this morning. We've been really talking a lot about two different things. One, how we can be the best believer we can be for Christ. And two, how we can be the best witness for Him too. Now, what we've been talking about simply is last Wednesday, we talked about, okay, what is the best witnessing tool that we got? And what I feel like the best witnessing tool we have is simply us, our lives. Because everything we do, everything we say, we're giving out some type of representation. We're being an example of something. And as a Christian, we literally carry the name of Christ wherever we go. So everything we do, everything we say, doesn't only just fall back on us and reflect our character, but also reflects the God that lives inside of us. So what we've been trying to do here down in the youth group is simply think about, okay, if instead we're representing God and not only us with our lives, how can we give God a good name with everything that we do? And one, bring us closer to Him and bring everybody else around us closer to Him as well. And how we've been kind of doing that is through the passage in 1 Timothy 4, 1 Timothy 4:12, I believe. And we've been talking about it, and it says, but set an example for the believers in speech, in conduct, in faith, in love, and in purity. These 5 things right here are pretty much what God has been telling us. Okay, use these things. Master these things and use them for me and use them in your life so that you can be an awesome example for me so everyone can see the me that's inside of you. And so simply what we've been talking about is we're going to break down for the next few weeks, just talk about every single one of them. And today was our first week about it, and so we talked about speech. And how can we use our speech for God? How can we use the words that we say for Him and to glorify Him? And to one, bring us closer to Him, and two, bring everyone else around us closer to Him as well. And so like I said, we started talking about speech today, and I'm not going to give you guys the full lesson. I'm going to give you a real shortened version. But we had 2 points for one main message. The first point is that I gave to the kids today is that we need to remember that our words that we say do have an effect on people. Whether we really think about it, or whether we even realize it, or whether we want to realize it, our words, everything we say has an effect on people. And it can be a good one, but it can also be a bad one. And the thing about it is, this effect doesn't just stay for a little while. It's one that lasts for a lifetime. So I was telling the kids some of the stories that we had. I always like giving examples for them. And the one example that I used for this was that I remember when I was younger, wasn't the most physically fit. I was really a nerdy looking kid. And what happened was I always had bullies. And I still remember this one guy. He would always call me this one name, and I still remember to this day. I still remember the effect it had on me. Even though now, like years and years later, I still remember this name. I still remember the effect it had on me. But the whole point with that story was trying to get the kids to remember that everything we say really does have an effect on people. And we need to remember how that effect is going to affect them. The second point that I brought to them was maybe a little bit of a different one. Was what we've been talking about too with this whole witnessing talk that we've been having is how can we switch our normal conversations and maybe just try and start talking about a Jesus talk with somebody, to start telling someone about Jesus, witnessing. And what we've been talking about is I've been letting the kids realize, think about it and use it in this way. By using your interests, using the things that you're most comfortable with, using the conversations, the things in your life that you feel comfortable about. Use the comfortable to make this uncomfortable Jesus talk comfortable. The thing is, though, what's going to happen when the effect that we've given somebody, the effect we've had on someone with our words was a bad one, and then we suddenly try and start talking to Jesus about them? You really think they're going to listen? No. Second point that I wanted to give the kids today and hopefully you guys too, is when you remember the type of effect you have on people, also remember how that effect is going to affect your conversation with this person when you try and start sharing with them about Jesus. Is it going to help, or is it going to hinder that talk? Because what's going to happen, if they have a bad mindset about you, if they have a bad view of you because of what you've said and the effect that your words have had on them, they're not going to listen to you no matter what. So just be wary, guys, of what it is. If here's just the ending, closing about it, our words really do have an effect, and that effect lasts for a really long time. We need to make sure that the effect we are having on people when we talk to them is a good one that will help them in their walk with Christ and not be a stumbling block to them. But we also need to remember that since we do have an effect on people with our words, and how we just need to remember, how is that effect? Is it a good one or is it a bad one? How is that effect going to affect our conversations with them when we start trying to share them with them about Jesus? Guys, just be ready. I mean, we literally are living in a time where we're supposed to be full-on witnesses for Christ. We're supposed to be sharing the name of Christ wherever we go. And our speech is just one way of doing it. Next Sunday, we'll be talking about how our conduct, how we live our lives, our actions, how can we use that for those two reasons, to get ourselves closer to God and how we can bring everyone else closer to God too. So thank you guys for listening today. I hope it blessed you as this blessed me. And we'll be having some more videos up here too. So if you guys have any prayer requests too, please leave it in the comment section or the post below and just let me know if there's anything that we can be praying for you about. Thank you guys, and thank you for your prayers.